Ah, welcome traveler. Come in, take a seat and put up your feet. Today, we are diving into a game called Going Medieval, a colony sim city builder survival game, where we will be cooking up some roleplay to enhance the gameplay. This is part 1 in our multi-part series, and if you'd like to see more of this, please like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Let's get into it. A new life. The plague had ravaged the British Isles, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Untold millions went to an early grave, and those left standing were plunged into poverty, brutally scarred by the horrors that they had witnessed. Nothing would ever be the same again. As the cold retreated, heralding spring of the year 1353, Maynard, Scott, and Doyle set off into the wilderness to claim a piece of land as their own, as was their right in the eyes of God and under the law. Here, they may lay down the foundations for some kind of future. Perhaps hope will follow. Scott is confident, defiant even. We will make this work. We will take our share of land, we will build there, and we will defend it. Many have tried. Some have fallen, beset by bandits, defeated by drought. Yet many have also prevailed. Have faith! The place we found will stand centuries from now. Our descendants will be there still. After many travails, they arrived in a valley with golden plains, cut through by a snaking river. For Doyle, it conjured visions of bountiful harvests, song and wine. A place to put down roots, a homeland. They decided to title it Hearthguard. Right, so first things first, we pause the game so that no time passes, and then we can actually have a look at what we have on the map, what resources we're dealing with, and the basic lay of the land. So I'm just going to adjust the camera angle a bit here. We have sun rising in the east, setting in the west, south is down here, north is up here. Okay, our 3 initial settlers are down. Scott, Doyle, Maynard. We have a cat, Jesper, as well, which is fantastic. It's a very good way to keep pests out of our storeroom. And we also have 2 goats. Great. This is actually a pretty good area to start off with. We have a lot of grass here, tall grass, mushrooms, and some berries, so you won't be struggling for food initially. We've got a little bit of wood around here as well. But let's get a better lay of the land and then we can see what we're dealing with. So we're going to go down south first. Okay, looks like there's a semi-indentation here in the land. No raw resources visible at the moment, but you know, they could be lying right under the surface, so this is a possible spot for a quarry in the future. Open land here. Oh, deer. Fantastic. So there are already deer that have spawned in. And bones. That's not the most comforting thought. We seem to have quite a large forest here towards the east. That's fantastic. So we won't run out of wood anytime soon. And towards the north we have a river and quite a sizable pond. So we can even go for fishing for an additional source of food. That is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And west we have another forest. There's 2 deer carcasses here. So we immediately we're going to be setting these as allowing. So we can just get some more food going. Right, so with that all said and done, I think what we need to do is just have a look at what we're actually dealing with here. Allow some of these resources, because we obviously are going to be moving them eventually. And, what's this in the mechanical components? Finally, we have found it. A piece of land that is not only free from the imposing rules of strange lords and rulers, but a land that also provides us with everything we need in order to forge our own futures. Scott and Maynard already joke about us becoming lords of the region. I must admit that I too dream of such a day, but first we shall need to construct a proper shelter with sufficient storage and the means to provide enough food. Okay, well, it seems like that letter from Doyle is quite important. I'm not quite sure why he stashed it in the mechanical components, but hey, maybe he's trying to start up a little bit of a journal or a diary to keep track of what's going on. So they're looking for a little starting settlement. Somewhere to call home, somewhere safe from the dangers of the wilds, and somewhere where we can set up an initial base. So let's have a bit of a look here what we still have around. We have iron here, nice and close, that's fantastic. And then we have limestone here, some more iron. This is just dirt. Do we have salt anywhere? Ooh, yes, we do. There's salt. Fantastic. And clay. Great. So we actually have, in reasonably close proximity to the starting area, we have that. I think what we will do is we'll set up their little starter home over here. Just an initial haven from the dangers. And then we can look at perhaps setting up a more advanced, intricate settlement next to the river here. But that's long-term plans, so for now, I think we just dive in. Get this initial base started, and let's just jump into it.
Maynard with the sturdy axe, Scott with hearty cheer, Doyle the dreamer with his maps, they set out without fear. Over hills and under stars, through woods so dark and dense, with the wind upon their backs, and hearts full of immense. Oh, the three brave lads, hammer and song, through the wild unknown they roam so strong, building dreams with calloused hands, in the whispering Irish lands. Maynard's eyes are sharp and keen, chopping trees to earth. Scott's laughter echoes through the glen, a sound of endless mirth. Doyle with visions in his eyes, dreams of what could be. Together they will carve their fate, a life wild and free. Oh, the three brave lads, hammer and song, through the wild unknown they roam so strong, building dreams with calloused hands, in the whispering Irish lands. With wolves howling in the night, and storms that thrashed and roared by the firelight, they stood their ground, spirits never bored. Maynard's grip was firm and true, Scott's smile never waned, and those stories of new lands in their hearts remained. Oh, the three brave lads, hammer and song, through the wild unknown they roam so strong, building dreams with calloused hands, in the whispering Irish lands, in the whispering Irish lands.
So we've gone and just set up a basic structure just for the little starter home, so to speak. We've gone and put a 2-story building down. We have some beds laid out, enough for our 3 initial settlers, and some additional ones for in case we pick up some stragglers along the way. And then we've also gone and placed a research table, because it's quite useful to get started on that as soon as possible. What we're also going to do is we're going to just place a brazier in here, just to keep it nice and warm in the colder seasons. And I think what we'll do is we'll make use of this space for indoor storage, and we might set up some basic workshops just in here, just for the temporarily house them and store them there. Right, so we're going to set up a stockpile. We'll set up a default stockpile just for this whole area here, which we will then customize, and we'll get rid of carcasses. We don't want any of those stored in here, and we don't want any waste stored. We will, however, take the animal carcasses, because that comes from hunting, but we don't want any human bodies that might occur from, you know, invaders or so on, that we will be taking care of. For that, what we will do instead is we are going to set up an outdoors stockpile for any waste. We'll just use the dumping stockpile, and we'll set it up a little ways away. I think we'll set it up over here actually, so it never gets in our way. We'll just do a 7 by 7 space. It's probably way too big. We'll just disallow the animals, and there's just waste and human bodies. Okay, fantastic. So what we'll do is we'll get things running here, and we'll just set speed to, let's set speed to 1 for now while they're busy. And we can designate some trees to be chopped down. Let's get rid of all of these, just to make things a little bit more clear for when we eventually want to set up over there. And we'll set these all for harvest. Actually, let's do this whole patch like that. And we will also set... no, I don't think it's really necessary to set up the allow for now. So fantastic, we'll let them get to it. What we can do is also just mark all of these berry bushes. Those are quite important. And we'll let things run, and while they're busy chopping down and getting things built, we'll go into the schedule and we'll just tweak this a little bit. So at the moment they're getting a fair amount of sleep, and we'll start their day off with some leisure. And then they'll work, a fair amount. And then end the day off with some leisure as well. So we'll copy this, we'll just paste it in there, and for now they'll all be sharing the same routine. So it's not too much of a micromanage at the moment. However, we do want to also have a look at this. So we will be allowing all the headgear for the time being, and all armor. But now we have to have a look at their separate stats. So Doyle is quite good at being a marksman. And then Maynard's also good, and Scott is as well. But who is the best at using swords and close range? Oh, looks like it's going to be Maynard. So we'll get Maynard equipped with a short sword, or should we go for... I think we go for the short sword. So equip him with the short sword. And we'll give him a shield as well, a little buckler. And then we can go and get Doyle to use the longbow. We'll just let him first finish up there. Scott can use the short bow for now. Doyle can use the longbow. Just so that we're prepared for the eventuality of there being barbarians, and also for hunting purposes. So we'll set this to ranged, we'll set this to ranged, and we'll set this to that, all headgear, all armor. That's fine for now, I reckon. Should not be a problem. Okay, and while they finish constructing this, I did also notice that we have a little bit of a gap here. We're not going to stress about that too much at the moment. Once our research table is set up, we'll look directly into getting beams unlocked, which will help us create a proper support so that the floor doesn't cave in like that. Right, so we're just going to let this run for a little bit. We'll let them finish building. We should probably, though, get all of this marked for urgent haul so we can get it moved inside so no strange pests and polecats and wolves or foxes come and eat our packaged meals. Right, so I'm going to let this run for a bit and we will be right back. Right, so what we'll also want to do is we'll just need to set up a campfire just to start cooking up some food, and a basic butchering table just to process any dead animals that we might come across. So we'll just set these up outside. Once those get built, we can have a look at start making food for our settlers. Right, well, I'm going to just let this play out until this is built and we will be right back. Right, so we've actually finished this off now. You can see it's just a basic little building. We've cleared out quite a bit of land around it as well. So most of the stuff has been cleared away. We've chopped down enough trees and we can actually start getting everything else set up that we need to get done. So we've actually got our research table done now, as you can see. And what we'll do with this is we'll just set this until we have at least 100 of these chronicles. So the chronicles will be used to unlock different research, and we can check at the research that we can unlock here at the research tab, which gets unlocked once you finish building your first one of these. So let's have a look. Okay, we start off with architecture. And we've got a couple of options that we can wait for to get enough. As you see, we need 30 books. We only have 10 at the moment. But I definitely want to get agriculture before any of the rest, because we need to start setting up a reliable food production system before winter hits. We want to make sure that our storerooms are well stocked for the winter times. So we're going to get that started. And then what we also want to do is we may want to set up somewhere for our settlers just to get some relaxation time, but we'll look at that in a minute. So what we want to be doing is we definitely want to set up some red currant shrubs. So we're going to set up just a few here. This one is a little too big. There we go. We'll just set up, let's go with 16 of them. Oops, I think we messed up here a bit. Yes, we did. This one, we can just shrink the zone, and we put in another shrub here. Okay, so we've got some space here for red currants to grow. We spread them out so that blight cannot affect them. Blight is a thing in the game. It affects different crops and can be very detrimental to farming operations. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set up our farm. Maybe we set it up over here for the time being. What we'll do is we go here, we'll get some cabbage fields set up. We're just going to do little 5x5 plots. So we'll do a 5x5 there and a 5x5 there. We'll get some flax going as well, just for the time being. I know we don't have enough seeds, but we're at least getting the layout for it for when we eventually do. And barley as well. Herbs we actually can't do yet because we don't have enough skill in, planting crops, but it's fine, we'll get there eventually. Then we're going to go here and we're going to set this one to just going to seed. So we're going to get a lot of seed generation from this. We'll set the priority to very high so we always have seeds generating. And then for this one, we'll set the priority just to high for ripening. So we'll get a crop out of this and mostly seeds and a little bit of crops out of that. That way we can keep our farm sustainable. So right, with that done and dusted, next we will be placing down a backgammon table. We'll place it down inside here, just to do a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of leisure. And I think we're going to put a... maybe we just place another one of these for heat inside. We place it over there. That should be fine. We don't have enough clay for it, but it's not an issue because we can always get some of the surface clay and use that to construct it. Okay, fantastic. We're going to let this run quickly and we will be right back. Right, so what has happened here is we've started planting. We have the basic structure is for the most part complete. Sleeping area is heated. Downstairs is also heated. And we have Scott already working on research. But we have a merchant that has arrived now. Now he did arrive a little bit sooner than what we initially thought he would arrive. So we actually need to set up a merchant store for him, somewhere for him to gather. I think we'll place it here next to the building over on this side, or alternatively we could also place it, I think we place it here. I think this might be a good spot, just for the time being. And then what we could do is we're just going to preemptively start planning out some outside workshop areas. So we'll place a pillar there and a pillar there. And perhaps on this side as well, we'll place a pillar here and another one here. And we'll just stick up a floor on top. It's not really a roof, but it is something for the time being. And we can work on getting that at least set up. Now we do want to add some wooden support beams so that the floors actually stay and won't collapse in. It'll just be a little bit extra and place them all the way around. And then this should be able to be placed here. Fantastic. And this one as well. There we go. So what we want to be looking at next is just allowing this to run. We have our campfire set to keep making food. We have our butcher table to keep processing animal carcasses. And we have old Maynard here planting away. So here's the merchant. And in order to deal with him, we want to get the person with the best possible speechcraft to engage with him and get the best possible deals, which seems to be Maynard as well. So we'll go over to this with Maynard selected and we'll say barter with Edward Follett and hopefully we'll get the best possible deals. So let's have a look at what we have here. So he is carrying alcohol, some apple seedlings, which is very important, barley, beet seeds, cabbage seeds, and carrot seeds. He also has a dog with him, some eel meals, flaxseed, and some herbs. So what we want is we definitely want this apple seedling because we can start planting an apple tree, which is a good sustainable source of food. So we want that. We also want the beet seeds. We want more cabbage seeds. We want more carrot seeds. And I think that we'll take the barley as well. We might as well get started on that. What else are we looking at here? He has herbs, but no herb seeds. So we're not really concerned too much about that. However, flax is great for later. So we'll take that 2. Let's have a look if he has anything else of work. Ooh. Ooh, he has a female wolf with him. That's very interesting. So we could get a wolf and a dog initially. That could be very useful. But I don't think that we quite have enough resources to trade in order to make up for the cost of a dog and a wolf. I mean, the one does cost 53 gold, almost 54 gold, and the other one is about 38.5 gold. It's very expensive. But let's see how much we can get out of this hay, because we have that in ample supply. Almost enough. I think we'll crank this up to, let's see, 150. Great, he'd be very happy to trade that, so that is working out in our favor. Now let's see if we can actually get this dog and this wolf, because that would be fantastic. It's going to be very expensive, but we can always adjust this. Let's try 400. Nope, not quite. 500. Still not enough, and he is now too heavy. So unfortunately we will not be able to get the dog and the wolf, but perhaps if we... Nope, he will not take that offer. So unfortunately I think we'll have to settle for just the seeds this time and pass up on the dog and the wolf. But that's okay, we'll keep an eye out for those in the future, and we'll just take what we can get for now. And we say accept, and yes, seal the deal. Fantastic. So with that down, what we can do now is we can quickly go set up the additional farms for all of these nice new seeds that we got. So we'll set up a carrot farm here, and the same way with the cabbages is we'll set one of these to ripe, and we'll set the other one to go into seeds so we can generate seeds. And then we'll also get a beet farm set up in exactly the same way, although it does require more skill, but it's fine. Maynard will get there quite quickly, I believe. And we'll just get things set up initially, get ahead of it, and we can look at what else. I think we're good for now. We do want that apple tree as well. I think let's try plant that apple tree. We don't want it around these crops because we don't want it to cause shade. So we'll plant it a little ways away. Perhaps over here somewhere. Yes, I think that might be a good idea. Maybe over here. Let's plant it there for now. And we'll see how that goes. And we'll put the priority to very high. And we'll just get that sorted. Let's grab Maynard quick and get that planted. Can we? I don't think that he will. Maynard, can you come plant this, please? No. Okay, so you cannot directly order them to start planting, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. And we have plenty of time for that. It is still spring and only the 4th day. Oh, fantastic. Doyle and Maynard are now friends. Or because they had a wonderful conversation. Oh, that is great news because our settlers are actually getting along with each other. So we're going to let things run for a bit here. And then I will be right back after everything's done. Okay, so we are mostly done for the greater part. We've just set a couple of patches of long grass here to be cleared out. This has all been planted. This carrot field here is ready to go into seeding, which is fantastic. We have our little apple tree planted over here. And we even have some red currant bushes planted and slowly growing up. What we've gone and done as well is we've added a small lip over here so that our villagers, while they're on the 2nd floor, they can actually run around and get to this point over here in case we need to do that for any odd reason. As for the interior, the 3 of them are sleeping quite soundly. It is 3 o'clock in the morning, but they're nice and warm, although we should probably add in a door here just to keep them cozy and snug. Downstairs, we've added in the beams that we've unlocked through the research. Our store pile, our goat's sleeping in it, that's fine, but our storage is filling up nicely. We're getting all the resources that we will need eventually. We are producing nothing at the moment food-wise, but that's okay. Now with the building slightly less, we can look at allocating jobs specifically to the 3 of them. As for entertainment, we've set up a backgammon table over here, and they can play and entertain themselves in their downtime. Yes, so we're pretty much set up for the time being. All that's left now is to let things run its course, slowly develop further, and hopefully get some more research done. Oh wait, what's this? A warm bed and a roof over my head. These things I took for granted before beginning this journey. But look at us now. This is truly the start of something great. I can feel it in my bones. We have crops planted and food in the stores to see us until the crops can be gathered. I just hope it will be enough to see us through the winter. Scott says everything will be better than before, but I can't help but feel that we are very vulnerable and defenseless at the moment. Perhaps I would feel safer with a wall around us. Ah, so it seems that another one of Doyle's diary entries has been stuffed into the research table here. It looks like he's feeling a little bit uneasy about how safe the settlement is. I mean, that is understandable. We don't have any defenses to speak of at the moment. But let's see if we can maybe get that sorted out and set something up that'll hopefully put his mind at ease. Right, let's get stuck into it.
Maynard, Scott, and brave old Doyle left their homes for untamed soil. Saw the fields, the hills so green. In this land, they built their dream. With a fiddle and a flask in hand, they laughed and danced across wide land. Braving beasts and stormy nights, free men forging new lives. Axes swung and earth was turned in every stroke, heartbeats burned. Voices raised with ancient songs, in these woods they now belong. With a fiddle and a flask in hand, they laughed and danced across wide land. Braving beasts and stormy nights, free men forging new lives. Stone by stone, their walls did rise underneath those endless skies. Each new dawn saw dreams unfold, Maynard's tales and Doyle's gold. With a fiddle and a flask in hand, they laughed and danced across wide land. Braving beasts and stormy nights, free men forging new lives.
Right, so we have set up quite a sizable area here and enclosed it in some walls. We have our berry bushes over here, our apple tree, which is slowly growing, and our farmland over here. Now, our walls will cast a bit of a shadow with the rising sun and setting sun on our crops, which could prove problematic in the long run, but we'll just deal with it for now. We'll look past it for the time being, because we do need to get these defenses up. We do have a small entrance over here, and we have a small protruding floor space up here that is also sealed off with walls, and we will demonstrate why that is so important close to the entrance once this is all finished. Right, but I think that's about all the time we have for this episode. We're going to let this run and finish building unless if something pops up. If something does, well, you'll have to wait until the next episode to find out. But right, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, as that would greatly help the channel. If you'd like to be kept updated as to new videos being released, then please hit that notification bell. If you have any feedback, suggestions, or requests for gameplay, please leave a comment below and let us know. We'll look at working it into a future video. Until next time, this is Roast Temp. Keep cooking.